The hot housing market may finally be cooling down.
And because of it, there may soon be fewer properties on the market. Alexa Kebalo Hughes, Connecticut's Realtor of the Year, is here to tell us more. Hi, Alexa.
Hi.
Look beautiful in your red dress.
Thank you. You guys look great in your maroon.
Well, thank you so much.
We're
nice
going
to
to prom.
see you.
We're very festive here today.
All right, so what is delisting?
So delisting essentially means when a home expires off the market. So anytime someone lists their home, they have a list start date, then they have an expiration date. So delisting is just a fancy way of the home being essentially expired.
So nobody bought the home?
Correct.
That's a shame.
Correct. That's what that means.
And that's still happening? It happens to people here in Connecticut?
It does happen. I mean, it's always happened. I mean, historically, you always have homes that are listed, many that go under contract, many that sell. But then, of course, those that are not maybe strategically priced or don't have the right exposure perhaps could expire off the market.
Do some people sometimes list their homes with the hopes that, you know, just trying to see what it does,
Exactly.
but I don't have any intention of really selling it?
Yes. So that's what we call someone that's perhaps fishing, but also someone that may not have realistic expectations, right? You can list your house for $1 million. You can list it for $1, whatever you would like to list it for, but the home is really worth what a ready, willing, and able buyer is willing to pay.
And you're
what a
able to
seller's
help
willing
with
sell.
that, making, you know, because I remember when I sold my house, this was years ago, the real estate agent came in and said, comps in the area, this is what we think, you know, what's going for, and we came up with a price.
You're absolutely correct. So what happens is anytime that I go to list a home, I tour the home, I look at the condition, I help them give strategic ways that they can improve the way the home looks as far as staging, I know, which we talked about in the past, but especially paying attention to the active listings, that's a competition, the under contract, and the sold. Those would be considered the comps. But what's great is that what I look at is the full picture, which is how many are available, what's the competition like, and where do we need to price ourselves to make sure that we look great among the competition.
So why could having a realtor right now ensure that you don't have to delist your house?
Yes, so having a realtor expert come in that's able to look at the data and really understand, because as we all know, there's so many conflicting headlines on what's happening in the market. And a licensed realtor, someone that you trust, such as myself, could come in, look at the house, and give you recommendations. I will guide you the way that I would guide my own family. And I will guide you the way that I would if it was my own house, right? Because bottom line, you want to get top dollar in the shortest amount of time.
How much, is there like, this is a dumb question, but is there a percentage of how much you should put into a house before selling it? Like, you know, like it's 35,000. If I had to put 35,000 in, but I'm only selling the house for 200,000, is that, you know, it seems kind of ridiculous.
There's no set percentage, and that's when I think a lot of people get in trouble is when they think, oh, I have to do X amount of dollars or X percentage of the sale price to make improvements. It really is a case-by-case scenario depending on the specific home and depending on, again, if you have a house that there's nothing else in the price point within the town, you don't have to be as strategic as far as improvements.
Exactly.
You just have to be more strategic with price.
And quick question, how is the delisting trend here in Connecticut comparing to other areas of the country?
I'm so glad you asked. So when we look at all the data, I love data, there's actually a survey done with 50 metropolitan states. Connecticut is actually trending on the downwards as far as number of expired listings compared to the rest of the nation. So this graph here, you can see this is over the last 5 years, and you can see how it spikes every year.
Yeah, it looks like you need to cut your lawn.
So what happens is a lot of people list their home. A lot of people list their home with an expiration date of perhaps the end of the year. Like, I'll give it a try. I'll fish till the end of the year. So you'll see a lot of them expire at the end of the year. And then come back on after. But yes, that does look like it needs a good trimming.
Absolutely.
And is there one time of the year where delisting is more popular, I suppose?
Well, statistically speaking, you can see in the graph at the end of the year is when a lot of people that were fishing did not get what they wanted. And they're like, I'm just going to take it off.
Just take it off the market.
Just take it off the market and let's try again in spring.
Exactly.
But I would tell these people to give me a call or their trusted realtor a call because we can get you on before.
But there's also a history
inventory.
of that, of how many times people have listed their prices, houses, right?
Absolutely.
So you can look back and say, oh, these people were trying to,
You
again.
absolutely can. You can see all the history. You can see, okay, this is the 5th time they've listed with the 5th realtor, whatever the case may be. And oh, wow, they're finally down to reality as far as the pricing. Or wow, they have great exposure, great photography. Because that's what it takes, pricing and exposure.
Okay.
Now, next week, we understand you're going to have a special guest joining you to talk about winterizing your home?
Yes. So there's so many ways that we can get our home prepared for the winter. So there's a lot of things that we need to do to get the home ready for the winter time.
All right. Well, thank you. You're just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
here to share.
You're our
Thank you so
housing
much.
queen.
She's going to cut your grass.
Absolutely.
All right,
That'll make the house look better.
Thank you, guys.